Kia ora everyone. Today I'm Anne-Marie here from PlunketLine. I'm a Plunket nurse and we're really lucky today to have Darren from St John's. Darren's a first aid trainer with St John, and I'll let you introduce yourself, but we just want everybody to know that we're really excited today to be talking about how to keep safe and well at home and how to manage, accidents, simple tips and tricks and things, and it'll be a good hour, so stay with us.
Kia ora, Marie. Thank you for having me. I'm Darren. I'm a first aid trainer with St John, based out of Palmerston North.
Oh, cool.
So it's really great to be here with you.
Oh, look, thank you so much for coming, because you'll see a lot of things and be working with a lot of parents, especially when they want to learn how to sort of what do I need to be doing to keep baby or my little people safe, as well as what I do when I fall over their toys and injure myself. What do I need to be doing then too? So it's all about keeping whānau healthy, whānau safe. First of all, I think we could sort of look at what are some of the things you see when you're going into people's homes, because I know you do get to do that as well in your role. What are you sort of noticing around some of the safety stuff that you would think you might give some people some information about?
I think a lot of the stuff that parents do is very much common sense. Yeah. I think there's some basic things that we might mistake when a little one arrives in the family home. Things like you might put a packet of Panadol down on the table, and you have a child at home, forget to pick it up.
Or a thermometer. Digital thermometer.
Yeah.
They've got button batteries in them.
And babies love to, and young children love to eat stuff.
When they're 2 or 3, they open them up, and then we know what a medical emergency a button battery they swallow is.
For sure. Yeah. Definitely need an ambulance for that one.
Yeah.
And I think I noticed here in Wellington that it's quite cold today. I didn't bring the sun, sorry, but it might be worthwhile considering and investing in fire guards.
Yeah.
We've got people with log burners. Fire guards are absolutely essential to prevent those burns. Panhandles. How many times we're at the table in the kitchen cooking, you get distracted, you have panhandles there, and you don't forget to turn them.
And then people reach up.
Oh, absolutely, it smells good. Yeah. And one that I've experienced myself as a parent, is remembering how to actually run a bath.
Yeah, that's a really good. So go through that, because I think a lot of people don't think about it until they have to run a bath for a little person.
No, we don't. And I think probably the safest thing we can do is to always run cold water first.
Yeah.
And much better to go and put toes in cold water than having a hot bath and then the phone goes.
Yeah.
And then you forget, and then everything's running around, the dog's running around, and the other children are yelling. Really, really easy to forget. So starting off with cold water and filling it up to temperature instead of cooling it down is a really easy safety tip.
And always stay with the running water
absolutely.
until it's turned off.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. So, how can parents be prepared? Accidents are going to happen at home. With all the best one in the world, we can't have eyes in the back of our head. We can be prepared. We can have good strategies, but accidents will happen. So, what is one way that, parents can be prepared for the accidents that might happen?
I think one of the ways that you can obviously do is to actually go and have a first aid course. And, with St John, you can book all of those online. And we can actually run first aid courses that are specific for children and young people, or we can run them that are more specific for the parents themselves or older people with a level 1 course. Either choice will give you absolute vital information to help parents prepare in the home.
Yep. So they're going to cover things like where to keep their medicines and how to use medicines.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Following instructions from nurses and the doctors. Absolutely.
In our next session, we will talk more specifically around things like if a burn happens or if a fall happens. We will talk more specifics, but just sort of in general preparation, a first aid kit's probably a really good idea.
Very much so.
Now, this is a St John first aid kit, and we're going to be lucky enough to have 2 to give away, one sponsored by St John, one by Plunket. So, at the end of the session, we'll have information about that. You don't have to have bought one. You could make it yourself, so we can look about what might be in them. Yeah. So what sort of things would you think that a parent needs to think about, especially if they've got, say, a small family, a young family? What would they want in their first aid kit?
So I think, when we're concerned about children, we're concerned about slips, trips and falls in the family home. I think a basic dressing kit with some bandages to deal with bleeding.
Yeah.
These are great. Not everything has to be a major accident. There's some awesome cleaning wipes in this kit, which are nice and gentle on the skin, as well as getting rid of any bacteria. A good plaster set.
Yes.
There's nothing worse than having a plaster put on, then it falls off 2 seconds later.
Yeah, and the thing about plasters and dressing, with our babies and our little people that suck their hands a lot, we have to be careful that they don't become a choking hazard. Yeah, so thinking about where we apply those. Yeah.
So even in this first aid kit, we've got tweezers, we've got some
scissors.
Absolutely, and I think that this kit has a thermometer in as well.
So yeah, so it's, when you think about it, buying a thermometer within your first aid kit's a really good idea. And if you're making one up, maybe that's where you keep your thermometer, and keep it away from little people, just because it has got things in it that would be, not suitable.
Very much so.
Yeah. So I suppose, when they'll learn how to use a first aid kit if they come to a first aid course. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They might want to have like an ointment in there, like some sort of ointment that, like, over the counter.
Very much so.
Supermarket type, antiseptic type ointment, or cream that helps with grazes, or.
And clean water is absolutely perfectly acceptable for cleaning wounds as well.
Yeah, perfect. We can't underestimate clean water. Run the tap. Yeah, it doesn't have to be pre-boiled in the kettle. Yeah,
indeed.
And cooked down. Yeah. Okay. So, sometimes, as you said, parents, they will maybe trip over the Lego or the trikes or the plastic toys that are in the home, and they might injure themselves. And then if they injure themselves and they've got little people running around, what do we that scenario does happen.
It does indeed. I think probably the key message for all parents out there is to look at dangers in the home, and prevention is always better than cure.
Yeah.
And our first priority as parents, and I'm a parent myself, is always going to be for our children.
Yeah.
And I think if we can do some very basic stuff as parents to prevent that stuff, even things like taping down the loose rug or taping down the loose carpet. In the digital age, everybody's on Facebook, everybody's got mobile phones going, we've got parents. And it's really easy to be distracted while you're walking with a mobile phone, and you've got a child as well. So look, I think that the easiest thing in the world is to be prepared. First aid isn't complicated, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Book on a course.
Yeah.
Absolutely, book on a course.
Yeah. And if you, while you're waiting to go on your course, everybody's given a well child book through the Ministry of Health at birth. Okay, so your midwife or lead maternity caregiver will see that everyone gets one of these. And in the back section, there's a lovely red section right at the back that talks about managing emergencies. We'll go through a little bit more of the types of things that are in here, like burns and scalds and choking and falls and grazes and things. But there's good information, as there is in your Thriving Under 5. Every child enrolled with Plunket gets one of those at first Plunket nurse visit. Okay, so and the back section again has really good information. So you have got access to information, while today you might be starting to think, okay, I'll start thinking about it. And as I said, we'll put links up about how you can enroll in a St John's course if you think that will really help you. Be more prepared. Okay.
So Marie, I'm curious. What type of calls do you get here at PlunketLine?
We get lots of calls from parents who get concerned about all sorts of things, but often the accidents are, my baby's rolled off the bed and he's rolled onto his head, or he landed flat on his back and he seemed stunned and he didn't cry for a moment, and he's now alert in my arms, but what do I do? Or I can see the big red egg appearing on the forehead, so that when they go face over the trike or the little plastic, first riders that they might ride. So, falls, so the safest place, we think, to leave a child, if you have to walk away for a moment and you can't have your hand on a child, is leave them lying on the floor, on their back, face up, face clear.
Can't fall any further than the floor.
No, so you can't fall any further than the floor. So, with a change table, you think, oh, I haven't got wipes, I've got a baby on a change table. Always put the baby on the floor if you have to walk away. If you cannot have at least one hand on your child at all times. Because even little babies from as early as sort of 8 weeks on can get a little mobile and push with their feet. And, they can go over the back of a change table. They can come off the back of a bed or the couch. So, you know, it's not safe to leave them anywhere higher than the floor, okay, even for a moment. We had lots of calls about falls, head injuries, falls, and burns too. And probably that's the thing when they were sitting around and we might have a cup of tea or a hot drink, a cup of tea or coffee, and then, so placemats and tablecloths, little people, if they're sitting on our lap, they're wanting everything that we've got, they're interested to learn about stuff. I'd like that. They pull the tablecloth, they pull the hot drink with it suddenly. And that's a really distressing phone call to receive, because you generally, the family is so distressed in a situation like that.
I bet.
And then you've got an emergency, and we will always help you. We know how to help get you the help you need in a timely way, and we will get you in touch with, you know, the ambulance service, and the St John's responder would be on their way to you, or Wellington Free should you be in that zone. So, you know, we get you there, okay? Yeah. So look, next session, you know, coming up, we're going to talk about more about specific aspects of the types of injuries and or accidents that people have and how to manage those at home, okay? So we'll give you some tips and tricks.
Look forward to it.
Okay, see you soon.